Have you ever typed something into a live chat and then thought, wait, maybe I shouldn't send that? Well, don't bother because chances are they probably already saw it. Yeah, customer service chats aren't as private as you may think, and that's just the start because here are 20 random facts I bet you didn't see coming. John Carpenter was the first person to take out the top prize in the American version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I mean, this is a huge feat, but it gets better. Carpenter didn't even use any of his lifelines until the very last question. And that lifeline was the phone a friend. He used it to call his father, not for the answer, just to tell him he was about to become a millionaire. You'd be shocked to know that you've been using tablecloths all wrong. Back in medieval times, no one really cared about decorating the dinner table with a giant piece of fabric. No, tablecloths were used as giant napkins. People would use it to wipe their hands and mouth, and servants would even arrange the cloth so each guest had a clean section for wiping. Probably not the most hygienic, but give it a go at your next dinner party and let me know how you went. The iconic Plague Doctor mask, sure, it looked creepy with its long curved beak, but that eerie design had a purpose. Created by French physician Charles Delorme in 1619, Charles, like everyone else at the time, thought that the plague was spread through miasma, a term used to describe the bad air rising from rotting bodies and stagnant water. So Charles invented a mask where you could store things like lavender and mint inside the beak, the idea being that these scents would overpower the dangerous miasma. Little did he know, though, that the real culprit wasn't foul air at all. The plague was spread by the microscopic bacterium carried by fleas on rats. The herbs in the mask served no purpose at all. You might want to be careful the next time you're live chatting with customer support. They could be watching you type before you even hit send. Live chat platforms often include a feature called Typing Preview or Real-Time Typing View. It lets the agent see what you're typing as you type it. It's all about improving response times by preparing answers as the customer types it, but just know that sarcastic message you are halfway through deleting, don't bother. They already saw it. Everyone knows that one person who thinks they're good at driving, but they'd be wrong. Well, before they drive you anywhere, make sure you slap a "How's my driving" sticker on their car first. You'll thank me for it. The US Department of Transportation ran a study which found that "How's my driving" stickers reduced crashes by 22%. The stickers had a unique ID and a toll-free number for other motorists to report any unsafe driving. But how does a relatively innocuous sticker prevent crashes? Well, it's pretty simple. The drivers were just self-conscious. Knowing their actions are being monitored makes them drive safer. It's official. Babylonians weren't just about pillaging and empire building, they actually had a sense of humor. Two professors managed to decipher a Babylonian tablet just under 3,500 years old. And this is what they found. Inscribed on the tablet was the oldest known Yo Mama joke. They weren't able to decipher the whole thing, so it left us on a bit of a cliffhanger, but the joke read, "Your mother is by the one who has intercourse with her." Clearly has all the hallmarks of a classic Yo Mama joke, but the punchline would have been helpful. Most people have heard of the phrase to butter someone up. It means to flatter someone excessively. I mean, really over the top. While you might have heard the phrase, I bet you don't know its origins. It's traced back to ancient India, where people would throw balls of ghee, also known as clarified butter, at statues of Hindu deities as an offering. Butter was seen as a symbol of purity and sustenance. Offering it to the gods was thought to bring good fortune. In ancient Rome, divorce papers often had to name a culpable party, someone who was officially blamed for the breakdown of the marriage. But this had serious consequences. Being the culpable party led to public shaming and the loss of financial entitlements like dowries or property. So those who mutually agreed to split had to get creative. They invented a legal workaround where they blamed an evil demon for their divorce. They'd claimed this demon disrupted the harmony and made their marriage untenable, and this let both of them walk away with their reputations intact. When someone wins an Oscar, they have to sign an agreement that states they're not allowed to sell the trophy without first offering it back to the Academy for $1. And the rule even applies to any of their family who may come in possession of the statue after their death. But there is a loophole. The $1 buyback clause only started in 1951. Any Oscars issued prior to this can legally be sold. April Fool's Day dates back to around the mid 16th century when Flemish poet Edward de Deen wrote about a nobleman who sent his servant on absurd errands like delivering fake letters or visiting people for no reason, all on April 1st. The servant eventually caught on and mocked his master for thinking he could be fooled so easily, and this became one of the earliest recorded April Fool's pranks in history. Just over 15% of NFL players file for bankruptcy within 12 years of retirement. In 2015, the National Bureau of Economic Research conducted a study. They analysed the financial data for over 2,000 players and found that it doesn't matter how long they played for or even how much they earned. 15% still went bankrupt. In response, the NFL has since introduced their financial wellness program because apparently making millions still isn't enough to avoid going broke. Whether a show is on or off Broadway has nothing to do with whether the performance is actually being held on Broadway. It's instead all about the size of the theatre. If the theatre has more than 500 seats, it's on Broadway. Between 100 and 500, it's off Broadway. And oddly, if it's under 100, it's considered to be off Broadway. Creativity at its finest. If you find yourself in the unlikely situation where someone offers you polar bear liver, don't eat it. Even a small portion, as little as 30 grams, can kill you. Polar bear liver contains a dangerously high dose of vitamin A, far exceeding what the human body can safely consume. But if you're overwhelmed by hunger and you decide a little nibble won't hurt, you'd be out of luck. There's no quick antidote for vitamin A toxicity. Western Australia is home to Lake Hillier, a bubblegum pink lake that stays pink all year round. Just as mysterious as its colour is the fact that scientists haven't been able to explain why it's pink. It was first discovered by Matthew Flinders during his expedition to map the Australian coastline, and surprisingly, it isn't the only pink lake in Western Australia. There's another lake that's literally called Pink Lake, but ironically, it isn't actually pink anymore. Roswell, New Mexico is home to the world's only UFO-themed McDonald's, a one-of-a-kind restaurant that's shaped like a flying saucer with a rim of glowing neon lights and curved metal panels, enough to make any alien feel right at home. It's all a tribute to Roswell's infamous 1947 UFO incident when a mysterious object crashed on a nearby ranch, sparking decades of conspiracy theories and attracting alien hunters from around the globe. The government claimed it was just a weather balloon, but not everyone was convinced. Locals reported seeing strange metallic debris that didn't resemble anything earthly, and rumours of alien bodies recovered from the crash site made it one of the most enduring UFO mysteries of all time. Scottish folklore tells of the Blue Men of the Minch, eerie blue-skinned creatures resembling ghostly human sailors. They haunt the waters separating mainland Scotland from its remote outer islands by gliding just beneath the surface, emerging without warning and challenging the ship's captains to finish lines of poetry. If the captain succeeds and matches the rhyme, the ship is free to sail on unharmed, but if they fail, the Blue Men stir the sea into chaos, unleashing waves to capsize the vessel and doom all on board. The first computer mouse looked like a small wooden box. It had two metal wheels on the bottom and a single red button on top. Bit different from these days, there was no scroll wheel, no laser sensor, and it wasn't even initially called a mouse. In the original patent, inventor Douglas Engelbart described it as a somewhat less captivating XY position indicator for a display system. Up until the mid-20th century, acclimatization societies were quite popular. Their mission centered on introducing foreign species to new environments to improve local ecosystems, a belief that nature could be improved through human intervention. But rather than improve, their actions often disrupted the delicate ecological balance, unleashing invasive species that caused widespread damage and destruction. And we're still feeling the effects of these societies. Australia is overrun with invasive species like rabbits, cane toads, and foxes, all introduced by humans with good intentions, but disastrous outcomes. Hidden in plain sight across Boston are poems etched into sidewalks, invisible on sunny days and only revealed when it rains. It's called the Raining Poetry Project. These sidewalks are coated with a hydrophobic spray that keeps the lines of verse dry while the surrounding pavement darkens. Each poem is carefully chosen to resonate with those passing by, offering a moment of reflection and inspiration as they stroll through the rain. Think soccer and then visualize yourself inside a squash court. That's Jorky ball. It started in France back in 1987 when some friends got creative with a ball in a small space. And the result? A chaotic, fast moving game that has all the hallmarks of soccer, minus the time wasting and the rolling on the floor in agony trying to upstage Shakespeare. And it's a legitimate sport. Jorky ball now even has its own governing body, the Jorky Ball International Federation, which oversees the Jorky Ball World Championships. And no surprise that Italy and France are the ones to beat. Whether it's the origin of the tablecloth or ancient Roman divorces, I hope you learned something. The world is full of fascinating facts, and I plan to keep them coming, so stay tuned. There's more on their way. Your support goes a long way, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.